Hello, everybody. We are back here now with Silent Martyr running Chrono Trigger New Game Plus. Silent Martyr, take it away.
Hi, everybody. Yep, like you just said, we're going to be doing New Game Plus today, and this run is very short. It's only going to take me about 8 minutes if things don't go completely correct. I'm going to talk a little bit about the run before we start. There's a few things that we're going to be doing before we actually start the timer. This run is done off of a already curated New Game Plus file that has exactly what we need and nothing more, nothing less. So just the armors and weapons that we are going to be using. It's not going to be like a full 100% file. And there's going to be a time that I sit in the menu where we load the game file. This is done to adjust the RNG. I'm going to be counting beats with a little GIF I have on my screen, and that's going to tell me when I need to actually load the file, and this will lock the RNG so that if I do it in the correct time frame, it will allow me to know exactly what damage is going to be done and the moves that Lavos' different forms are going to do. So, with that, we can jump right in. Alright, so I'm going to be silent for a bit while I count this out. Okay, so wait, and we don't care about changing the menu at all. For the names, we're just going to mash through that. And we'll do the same for Luca and Marl's names as well. So if you aren't super familiar with how New Game Plus works in Chrono Trigger, there's going to be a gate in the right telepod that goes directly to Lavos. And this is unlocked when you beat the game once, and you have access to this in all New Game Plus files. So this is your way of getting the developer's ending, which is the one that you would get doing this run.
Just a quick note, I think you haven't started your timer.
Yep, I was just actually about to say, the timer for New Game Plus doesn't start until we gain control of Chrono at this point. Okay. Normally, when we do the run, we have it set to minus 7.17 seconds so that we hit it as soon as Chrono's mother stops talking, but I don't have that set up, so I'm just going to do it as close to as possible as literally right now.
Alright. Just wanted to make sure.
That didn't start.
Sorry about that.
Why won't you start? Hello? Hold on. Why is my timer not starting?
Do you have your hotkey set?
Yes, I do have it set. It's just not... I usually have spacebar for mine to go. It won't go.
Global hotkeys?
My apologies, everyone.
Small technical difficulties. Well, it's okay, because the run doesn't start until you start moving anyway, so...
Yeah, pretty much. Nope, global hotkeys was on correctly. What is it set to? Oh, okay, well, that's not... You guys use weird settings, okay. There we go. Okay, cool. Sorry about that. Anyways, now, with the run going, we mash through Luca's name, blah blah blah. Say hi to the kitty. And then we're just gonna run right into Marl. We're gonna try to talk to her when we're laying down. This is gonna lock her in a position that will keep her in a faster route to get downstairs. So we wait until the bell completely stops ringing before we close that box so that she doesn't start moving again. Mash through the name, and then we're going to do a very quick menu here. I'll explain what we're doing after I do it. So, Chrono gets the Rainbow, Haste Helm, Nova Armor, and Prism Specs. Ah, so close. And Marl gets a Prism Helm. Now there, if I had done that correctly, it's a very tough skip that you can do, where you can skip this whole sequence. It's called Candy Skip. The way that the trigger works is there's a box in the floor that you can't see, and that allows you to... that triggers that conversation. And there's a very specific diagonal line that you could take to get around it, and it allows you to skip that conversation entirely. So we're going to go into the menu here, set the battle speed to 2 and the battle cursor to memory. And then we'll just start out with a simple Luminaire while Lavos does his first attack. Ooh, we're just off RNG. That's okay. So we'll have to tweak it a little bit here, but we won't lose the run or anything crazy like that. So after this Luminaire concludes, we'll do an Ice Sword too. And, you know, 10k is all Lavos Shell has, so quick, easy fight. Not a lot really to worry about here. So I can skip a load here if I do this same thing I did previously by bringing it into the menu, and if we immediately cancel it out, it skips a little quick load there, and it's slightly faster. You know, for a run that's only 7 minutes long-ish, those seconds add up when you're going for a very fast time. So Lavos is going to start out by doing his Doors of Doom attack, and we're going to Luminaire as well. And because we're off RNG, I'm going to heal Marl almost assuredly after this attack, because otherwise Lavos is going to get off a second attack with his arms, which he wouldn't normally do if we were on the right RNG. Because normally we would be fast enough to get the arms before it gets an attack off. But I'm going to play it safe here, because Marl dropping will slow us down a lot faster than just doing a heal. Yep, so this is the attack I'm talking about. And because we were on that specific RNG, I knew for a fact that Lavos was going to target Marl both times, hence why I wanted to heal her there. So this will take care of the arms. And then Lavos will drop his center defense, and we'll be able to start hammering him on the inside. This coincides with that specific attack he's doing right now, so we know we're clear to smash him. The reason why we put the Prism Helm on Marl is for that attack specifically, because that attack will give chaos to anybody who doesn't have a protective status, and she has that with the helmet that she's wearing. So we're just going to mash a couple more Luminaires. And normally we'd finish this phase of the fight off with an Ice 2, but because we're off RNG, the numbers that we do before Lavos drops his defense actually matter enough to the final hit. So what I'm going to do instead, because it's a little faster to do it this way, is attack with Chrono. And because he's got Rainbow, he's got a 70% chance of doing a crit, so he's almost guaranteed to crit here. And that will do actually more than Ice 2, thus guaranteeing that we finish the fight off. It's definitely slower to Ice 2 and then still have to attack, which is normally what would happen there if you're off the RNG. So again, the RNG doesn't make it so you lose the whole run. It just makes it so you have to do slight adjustments to be able to still finish the run. Very friendly for beginners to RPGs or people who have watch Chrono Trigger speedruns of like full-length variety, any percent, no LSS, and feel intimidated by the RNG manipulation and all the execution that you need to have. So we're going to do another menu skip here, at least try to, and then we'll start by doing a Confuse on the left bit, and then Marl's going to attack the right bit, which will cycle it into doing its defense drop faster than just straight up waiting for it. So Confuse and attack. And then we'll wait for the defense to drop before we Luminaire, which is what it's doing right now. Lavos center bit's going to change the time to the Millennial era. And then we'll just spam Luminaires until this fight is over. Because we're off RNG, the right bit might be able to revive the center and left bits, but it should be at the same time that we're doing the final kill blow. So we should be okay in terms of having anything negative happen. And the same thing there. that attack that Lavos Center did just now gives random status effect to all the characters, so it's important to have that status effect protection for that as well. Because Chaos here would be terrible. So we're going to do 2 more, but basically using Chrono's MP as a counter. Once we get to 39, we'll know that that's the last attack we need to do. And then once we finish the fight, there's going to be a flashing lights warning for anybody who has any epileptic type symptoms. It's going to be pretty flashy for a second. So yeah, like I said, it just gets off the revive, but because this kills it, this will do it. Alright, and that does it. And then the flashing will come right now. Very short and sweet fight. This is super beginner friendly for anybody who wants to learn speedrunning, or even just doesn't have a lot of time for speedrunning. You know, this is something that you can pick up and do, you know, a couple of hours a day, and you can get really good at this run. And it's a great introduction into the, as I said before, just running Chrono Trigger in general, because you're doing a lot of the fundamental things that you're going to be doing in a longer Chrono Trigger run. There's only a few things that you don't necessarily do in this run compared to a longer run in terms of different skills and strats that you use. But for the most part, these fundamentals in New Game Plus will help you learn the other runs. I didn't say before, I'm actually running this on a traditional Super Nintendo. This is an emulator or anything like that, so there are other ways to do this run, rather than just having a Super Nintendo and a, you know, $300-400 Chrono Trigger cart. But yeah, I definitely recommend it. We're a very welcoming community, and we're always open to helping new people learn. I definitely want to thank everybody for hanging out. Thank everybody for donations. This is obviously an incredibly great cause, so anything that you can chip in to help out is always welcome. And obviously I want to thank Carter for allowing me to participate in this event. I always love showcasing this run, and it's always good to do it for charity.
Thank you for taking part as well. I was going to ask if you had any shout-outs to do, but you kind of already covered that, so I think we're good. So yeah, we're going to be heading back to intermission here in just a moment as we get ready for our next run, which is going to be JPH